Are you an independent musician? How would you like to have your songs played on hundreds of radio stations just like the one you're listening to right now? Join MusicSubmit.com and we'll promote your music to radio stations and blogs in your genre. It's free to set up your account, and we guarantee your music will be considered for airplay by radio stations worldwide. Why not sign up today? It's free. MusicSubmit.com. Radio promotion for indie musicians.
Side BTV, HAAS G, aka Fantom of the Beat, Heat for the Street, Phil Action Jackson.
Hey, what's going on? This is Phil Jackson, host of Side BTV, being brought to you on the Boombox Union channel. Please go back and hit that like and subscribe button. Shout out to Gina for putting that together. And I just got the phone with Gina again, and she was like, the next guest is ready. And I'm just like, okay, let's do it. I mean, because, this is what we do. And this is, it's all about the culture. It's all about getting to know the artists and their journeys through this music industry. Because like I said before, we only see the finished product. And, when they have radio interviews, it's only a short time. And, the radio interviews, actually, they come and they go. But, the podcast interviews, they stay for a while, and, they just keep going on and on and on, and you can get more information out of the artist. So with that being said, this guest, I've been a fan of the group since they came out in the 90s. Their whole hip hop style, it transformed, into a whole genre, so to speak. Just lyrics, having a good time, just great hip hop. And what he did was he transformed himself into not just a producer, a solid producer. And he's still an MC at heart too, and he can still rap. And he comes from Staten Island, New York. So Staten Island. That's self-explanatory. You know what I mean? And I've, like I said before, I've been a fan without even knowing that I was a fan of his production, because he's done so much production. If you want to say on the mainstream side and on the underground side, he's done it. And I got my man Fantom of the Beat on Side BTV. What's going on, man? How you been doing?
My dude, Mr. Jackson, action.
Hey, look, man, let me tell you something. Thank you for coming on.
Yes.
We just got finished with Nature Boy. Shout out to Gina again, because it's so funny. Yeah, man, real quick, man. We met at the Moni Love listening party. Shout out to Moni Love. Love Notes is out right now. Please go out and support that. It's a crazy project.
Yeah.
And, we got a chance to talk a little bit, and, we took a picture. I told you, I have, your
I think I chimed in on your pick too, right?
Say that again?
Yet? I think I chimed in on your pick. Did you put
it
out?
Yeah.
I chimed in on that one. That was a good one.
I was a fan. I ain't gonna front. I was fanned out because I was like, yo, I got your album cover on my wall. And then I think I put it side by side in the Instagram pic. But your story is so. Oh, shout out to Rob Schwartz, because Rob has been, Rob's my man. Shout out to Rob, because Rob has really been pushing you for maybe like the past 2.5 years, man. And but I've been playing you. Shout out to MJ too, because MJ sends me your music also.
Yeah.
So, I was getting it on all ends, and,
solid foundation, brother. Solid foundation.
Yes,
we're all interconnected the right way. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
That's the squad.
Fantom of the Beat.
Yes, sir. Heat for the street.
How the hell did you start, brother? Because I know how you started. And it was so funny, because when we were talking, you were like, well, I still go by that because people know me as that. And then I'm like, okay, well, just break down how you started, where you started, and, just give my audience, because like a lot of people really don't know.
Nah, we
And
gotta catch them up right now. We're gonna catch
yeah,
them
yeah,
up.
go ahead, brother. Go ahead. The
We're gonna
floor is
catch
yours.
them up. So at the end of the day, well, not the end of the day, but at the beginning of it all, it started with a group called UMC'S. So, in 91, UMC'S came out with a record called Blue Cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Uh the full LP was called Fruits of Nature.
Nature, yep.
So off of Fruits of Nature album, we had Blue Cheese. We had One to Grow On. We had, two major hit records. And that's what catapulted the UMCs into the scene. So from then, it was like, we did our due diligence. We were working. We did shows. We toured. We did everything. But the whole thing was, a lot of at that time the industry was a little, fugazi. It was, it was iffy, wishy washy. You know what I'm saying? So what ended up happening, just to make a long story short, was I was one of the producers on the UMC's album from the beginning. So myself and RNS, and a lot of people, if you bring back that name RNS, which he's still around doing what he's doing, salute, are produced for Shaheem, GP Woo. You know what I mean? Like RNS was producer for UMC's. So, after we had our little run with Wild Pitch Records in the 90s, it was just time to cut ends, cut ties. And what ended up happening was in cutting ties, because business deals were, real shady, we had to survive. We had to keep moving. You know what I mean? But me, myself, I was like, and not to take anything away from Kool Kim, because he became somebody else too that a lot of people are not aware of. And he's still that kid from UMC's. But I just decided to, just delve into production strictly. And in doing that, it helped me out a bit. It helped me out a lot. You know what I mean? It was just like, all right, I'm coming from the group, but I want to focus on making beats. I want to focus on production. I want to focus on being, a new Primo, a new Dre, a new, whoever producer. I want to be one of those guys. And I ended up doing it. And that's where I started. It was at the end of UMC's. So I started producing and realizing that, I make beats. Let me try to shop these to some of my peers. And that's one of the lessons for a lot of producers, young, up and coming, coming out. You don't really get to hit your targets the way you want because you're fresh and you're new. I had relations already because I toured with a lot of the MCs that I started, shopping beats to. So it was easy for me. And, that's how it started. That's where we ended up. This is where I'm at right now. It's bigger than just making beats now. You know what I'm saying? We'll get into all of that. But, my first beat sold was to one of my peers, which was Busta Rhymes. And that was a classic album, B. Like the album I landed on, Extension Level Event. That was such a classic album. And that was my first beat sold to outside artists. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, I gotta applaud myself. It was like,
oh yeah,
I'm gonna make the move, but I'm gonna strike hard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's Busta was hot.
We're gonna talk about your production in a minute, but that's why I like you, my brother, because you were just like, yeah, I was in a group with UMC's, just that and the other. Because we know you as Fantom of the Beat.
Now,
now.
All.
But who were you in the UMC's?
Oh my gosh, my partner. I am I'm HAAS G.
Ah, there we go. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, my brother. Yeah,
I'm HAAS G.
you just glazed over that a little bit. I'm just like,
Nah,
no,
you got me. Nah, that was the greatest. That was the greatest right there. You know what I mean? It keeps
right.
it keeps the energy spark. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm HAAS G from UMC's. You know, I'm blue cheese. When it comes to blue cheese, that's me setting it off. You know what I'm saying? Um, I mean, when you look at Martin and you see that blue cheese
yes.
UMC's poster up on the wall, like that
I
that was another thing that was just so whoa.
and
How's
do
this
you
happening?
remember? You remember I talked about that. I said, do you know that you guys are a cultural figure because every time when we saw Martin, we saw that poster, and then
Yeah.
if people they bring it to the masses, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But UMC's,
Mm-hmm.
tell me who came up with the name and why was it? Why is that name so important?
So I could definitely hold a title, wreck a bit and fold. Them suckers, unlegit who told the public that we weren't bold. That's a definite disgrace. So, based on lyrics like that, and a whole bunch of other lyrics, it was like, yo, what do we call ourselves? You know what I mean? Like the way we spit is, it's a little different, you know. But UMC's, it evolved because you got to think. One, we got knowledge of self, right? So having knowledge of self, we know the supreme alphabet. You know what I mean? Not everybody's gonna understand what I'm talking about, but what I'm saying is there's a alphabet that really, really it's patterned to the structure of life. You know what I'm saying? So if you go from A to Z, there's a particular set of words that each alphabet represents. You know what I mean? So UMC's, universal, right?
Yep.
MCs, that's common. We know what
Yeah.
MCs are.
Right.
But we ended up, and it wasn't no one person, it was a collective. Me, myself, and Cool Kim. We said, all right, why are we going to call ourselves UMCs? Oh, because you heard those lyrics? Yeah. We're the undisputed masters of charisma. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the whole, that's the whole meaning of UMC's. Undisputed masters of charisma.
Gotcha.
Right? So we go from there, and then we was having fun with it. Unleash my culture. So now it became a wordplay game. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, we can fit anything into UMC. You understand what
Right.
I'm saying? But the true foundation and the true meaning of UMC's was undisputed master of charisma. Is undisputed master of charisma. And to this day, we still rep that. We rep that hard.
That's what's
You know
up.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, salute you guys on that, man. Because like I said, two classic albums. I mean, who could come right out the gate with two songs right off like back to back that made an impact on this hip hop culture. Not a lot of guys can
Appreciate you.
do that, man. But my next question is, Staten Island, New York, because of course everybody knows Staten Island, Wu-Tang Clan,
That's it.
Force MDs. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm gonna be the first one to admit it. Excuse me. When they say, "Oh yeah, UMC's is from Staten Island," I'm like, "Get out of here!" Because I'm thinking that you guys are like from Brooklyn or somewhere, because of like just the whole sound and the whole because back then, especially in the 90s, we didn't know. I'm sorry, we didn't know.
I didn't believe it was rappers from Staten Island.
Thank you. Exactly. I didn't want to say it like that, but yeah, absolutely. So, just being in Staten Island at that time, man, and being one of the forefathers to come out of, leading the hip hop culture, especially at that time, was it hard for you to break out in the music industry because you had Brooklyn, you had Queens, you had Long Island, you had those boroughs, the Bronx, of course, the Bronx, and
Mm-hmm.
you just had those boroughs, and they had people that supported backed them and supported them and
Mm-hmm.
co-signed for them. So like, was that a little bit harder for a group coming out of Staten Island, New York?
Well, so it's funny that you say you thought the UMC's was from Brooklyn or somewhere like that, because their whole situation popped off nice and
Yeah.
smooth, and
Mhm.
it started happening. The whole thing is, I am from Brooklyn. You
Okay.
understand what I'm saying? So I moved to Staten Island.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And Kool Kim himself, same thing. We moved to Staten Island.
Mhm.
Kim was out there longer than me. So by the time I moved to Staten Island, I had just met Kim. But my whole roots is Brooklyn. I'm Flatbush. You know what I mean? Lenox Road all day. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a matter of, getting out there, and now I got to know the lay of the land. I don't know nobody out here. You understand what I'm
Okay.
saying? So by the time I finally ended up meeting Kool Kim, it was like, all right, cool. We got a synergy. We got a chemistry together. Me and you do this. You know what I'm saying? So it was easy for us to do it because our roots weren't planted out there.
Got you.
I'm the kid that, oh shoot, mom lives in Staten Island. I got to go where mom lives. But guess what? I'm going back home. I'm going back to Brooklyn
Mhm.
every weekend. You know what I mean? As soon as I could get out of Staten Island and go back to Brooklyn, that's where I was all the time. You know what I mean? It didn't happen until a little bit later that I started congregating with Staten Islanders,
Mhm.
or being involved with what was going on Staten Island. You know what I'm saying? So um, just that part alone allowed me to connect with Manhattan, allowed me to connect with Uptown, allowed me to connect with Queens, allowed me to connect with the Bronx, Brooklyn, because I was always off the island. Kim
Mhm.
himself. That's why we were able to go and scoop the treasure and bring it back home to Staten Island, because
Gotcha.
this is where we live at right now. So we're going to represent Staten Island, but at the same time, we're out there. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes people become complacent where they live at. They don't
Mm.
know how to move. They don't know how to shake. They don't know how to break. You know what I mean? We're different. It was like, nah, son, I'm not. I gotta. The bag is over there. It's across the water. That we live on an island. What do we got here? You know what I'm saying? We got to go out there and get it. So we're gonna take our God-given talents, and we're gonna go across the water and let them know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna hit the pavement. We're gonna move around. We're gonna shake, break, do whatever we got to do. You know what I mean? And then we come back home and retire, go to sleep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, I like to ask artists this that have been signed to major deals, especially like guys like yourself. Was that the first initial offer that you got from Wild Pitch, or was the goal to be signed to another label?
So it what it was we did our demos,
Hmm.
right? We do our demos, we're chilling. Let's go to Manhattan, let's go see who we could get interest from. You know what I mean? So we did sign a deal before we signed to Wild Pitch.
Okay.
We signed a deal with there was a label called Rough Luxury Records.
Okay.
So at the time they were Uptown.
Mm.
They actually owned a club that was, back in the day, they were showcasing artists, but the owner actually had a record label. So we did a compilation with them first, right? So that's cool. Um, that went so far. So that's a piece of history right there. You know what I mean? If you go back and check UMC's was on a label called Rough Luxury Records
Okay.
that came out in like, I want to say 89.
Ooh, okay. You was out in the 80s, late 80s.
Yeah, 89, 90. And you know, it did what it had to do. But the whole thing was, we're out for a major. Like, we're bigger than just, you know what I mean, this little small record label that
Gotcha.
can't get us, you know, the recognition that we really want. We're really looking forward to. So what ended up happening was, at that time we were dancers.
Okay.
So myself, Kool Kim, we dance. We hit the clubs. It goes back to when I said we left Staten Island. We would move out into the city. So we're going to the clubs. We're moving all around. We're going to the video shoots. We're meeting people. We're greeting people, you know what I mean, that are already out and already established. So, you know, at one point, you know, it was Gangstar.
Okay.
Gangstar, we're in the videos, you know, we hook up with them. We're dancers back in those days. And at the same time, we're shopping our demo tape.
Got you.
You see what I'm saying? So when you're amongst the rappers, what you do, you pull out your demo. Like, yo, I need you to listen. All right. It didn't go that far with Gangstar. It didn't go that far. Nah, we ain't even have a chance to pull out our demo tape. It's just, yo, you dance, y'all do what y'all gotta do. We shooting this video, and it's a wrap. All right, cool. So we figured, okay, what labels? That's when we had to hit the pavement. So now we run into Next Plateau. We're running to Def Jams. We're running to Tommy Boy. We're running to all the different record labels in the city. And we finally get to a record label called Wild Pitch. Now, watch this. The day we go into Wild Pitch.
Don't tell me you see Gangstar because that's what I was just about to say. It's like, well, wasn't Gangstar under Wild Pitch still? Okay, enough said. But you go ahead and tell the story, brother.
Yeah, you just threw it out there. You just let them know already. You already told them.
That was classic. But I want you to tell the story. When you walked in, you saw Guru here. Right.
Going to the label. But see, this is how the universe works.
Yes.
Didn't we have a relationship with Gangstar already? Because we were dancing in their videos. We was in their videos. We was moving around. We was chilling and all of that. But they didn't know that we was really rapping. So when we decided to go to the record label, we're walking in, myself, and me and Kool Kim, we're walking to the label, and we get through the front door, get ready to go on the elevator, and who's coming out the elevator? Primo and Guru. And they looking at us like, what are y'all doing? We get ready to take our demo tape to Sufine. What? Wait a minute, what are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, that's what we get ready to do. It's like, Guru said, nah, son. Nah, Primo, yo, give us your tape. Let us listen to it first. I'm going to tell you right now, this is how the game go. You could walk up there, they're going to dump your tape into a freaking basket filled with like 100 different other demo tapes. Give it to me and Primo. This is Guru. And we'll give you a call. Like, what? Nah, I want to take my... Trust me, don't do that. So we felt comfortable. We gave the tape to Primo and Guru. They called us back in like 3 days. They said, yeah, you got a meeting with Stu Fine, the president of the record label. That was it. They put us on. So I was like, whoa.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Gangstar put UMC's on.
Word.
So now if you look back, if you look back at it and then you check the whole roster of Wild Pitch, you'll see the correlation. You'll see the relationships. You'll see the Gangstar. You'll see the Chill Rob G. You'll see Latif. You'll see UMC's. You'll see Main Source. We're all a synergy. We're all a collective. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And all of that was, it was just a whole bunch of who knows who, and that's what we're bringing in. You know what I mean? Like I said, it could have been 100 demos there, but nobody's checking for all of that right now. Primo is the hottest producer on the label. Whatever Primo says, that's what we're going to do.
And you know what I like about that, especially back then, because you guys were so young.
Yeah.
You guys were mad young. And that roster that you just said right there, if you look back at it, that was like, excluding Def Jam.
Mm-hmm.
That
label, we had the hottest.
That's what I'm saying.
Wild Pitch had the hottest roster.
I'm comparing you guys to Loud Records at one point.
Yeah.
And listen to me now, brother. You know what they did was super crazy, because it wasn't like an ego with these artists. They were like, yo, I know somebody. And they didn't even know you like that. They just knew you as dancer. They were like, we could co-sign him, but and then all the other artists like Latifah, who did she co-sign? She co-signed Chill Rob G, and the list goes on. And that was the beauty of it, especially back then when you guys were so young.
That part.
Because it was so competitive, and it's like, no, I want to be this guy on this label, and they were just like, they were comfortable, like, nah, we dope. So and they dope too. So we want to put them on too. And that's the beauty of it, especially back in the late 80s, early 90s.
So dope back then. Everybody reached out. They reached back. Yes. They threw that lifeline. It's like, nah, y'all dope. Let's get in here. You got to get in. You got to, you know what I mean? And that was a beautiful time. And it's funny that you said that Chill Rob G was co-signed by Latifah, right? Mm-hmm. So now, just a quick throw-in. So now you understand how UMC's ended up becoming managed by Latifah and Shaka.
Flavor Unit.
Flavor Unit. So it was like, it's intertwining.
It's very beautiful. Intertwining. It's very beautiful. Now, I want to put, I'm glad that you mentioned this, because I went back and I was doing some research. And, I saw you guys on Soul Train. We're going to talk about that in a minute also. But, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But I want to put this to rest. This is just not just the masses saying this. This is me. This is me. This is me. Because you guys were dancers and you said that. I want to know who started the East Coast Stomp. I want to know that.
I'll tell you the truth on that one. You can't. There's no lie on that. That was Leaders of the New School. That was Busta, Leaders.
Okay.
It wasn't us. Not at all.
I thought it was you guys. It was you guys at one point.
No, that was Leaders of the New School. If you go back and see a Leaders of the New School show, they started that.
Okay, because their album came out in 91. You guys' album came out in 91. I'm not trying to say.
They were right before us.
Okay. All right.
They were before us. We was like this. As soon as we was like, they was right before us. But then again, this is the part that I'm talking about. Whereas we were all running around in the same circuit.
Same circle. Yep.
So what happens is we're alumni.
Yes.
We're alumni. We all graduated at the same time. It's just that they probably, made graduation just a little bit quicker than we did. You know what I mean? But we was all in the same circle. We all knew the same things. We all knew the same people. We all was collaborating, and you had battles, you had MC battles, you had circles, you had with all of that together. But their deal got inked quicker than ours.
Before
they coming out right before we get ready to come out too.
So how was your first record deal? No, do you feel as though that it was fair?
It was garbage.
Okay. Well,
it was garbage. I could tell this story over and over again, and the present fans or artists or whoever wouldn't even believe it. As dope as the Fruits of Nature album is up until this date and sounds quality wise, we did that album off of $15,000.
Really?
Really.
Hmm.
When I say we did the album off of $15,000, that meant we got $15,000 budget to eat, to travel, to make an album. We stayed in my man Shlomo, R.I.P. We were in his attic. He had an attic studio. Bang it.
Okay.
It was called Firehouse back in the day.
Okay.
And we worked out of there. We just made an album. You know, what time is it? It's what, 2:00. Time to order some pizza.
Mm.
It's coming out the budget. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know how much he got paid. Like I said, the whole budget was 15,000. So, you know, the recording process, it was easy for us because we already had a whole, we had a map already.
Mhm.
We already knew what we wanted to do. You know, some things were on the fly, but the whole blueprint, the pattern, we already knew where we were going. And then we just, added a couple of pieces here, switched up over here, did all of that. So, yeah, $15,000 on a budget. So we weren't really happy.
Mhm.
We had to wait until the album dropped to see the response.
Gotcha.
Because, back then, the label owner was, frugal. Like, just
Right.
like, I don't, it's a gamble, but I'm not going to gamble all of what I got right now.
Right.
We'll keep this to a minimum. We'll do it. And then, guys, I need you guys to be patient and let's see if it has any effect. That was their game. Let's see if it has any effect. If it has effect, then okay, I'll get my 15,000 back, and then you get everything that we signed off on. See what I'm
Do you
saying?
think? Yeah, absolutely. Like, do you think because like you guys' budget was only $15,000 because you had acts like Latifah, you had Gangstar up there. So, like, do you think that they got the bigger budgets compared to UMC's at that point?
No, I think that they all started the same way.
Okay.
It's just they were ahead of us already.
Right.
So, like I said, it's like an alumni school.
Mhm.
12th graders are going to get the benefit of the doubt. They're going to get more than what the 9th graders are coming into. You know what I mean? Coming into it with. So you get more privileges because you're already ahead. It's just like your firstborn, secondborn,
Yeah,
thirdborn.
absolutely.
That's what it is. You gotta weather the storm until you graduate, until you reach that level. So I don't think it was done purposely based on the fact that I got to give out more money to them.
Mhm.
I just think it was okay. Here's your initiation. This is what you're going to get, and let's see if you can produce. Let's see if you could be that. You understand what I'm saying? So that was a shrewd business move. I understood that. The thing I didn't understand was by the time all these artists collectively made Wild Pitch look crazy big,
Yes.
and Wild Pitch went to EMI and got a $6 million deal off of what they put out, they didn't come back and say, "Hey."
You're right. Yeah, they
They didn't
didn't.
say,
Yeah,
"Oh."
they didn't distribute the pie, so to
They
speak.
didn't cut they ain't cut that
Yeah.
pie right.
Right.
You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? And it was because of us you got that deal. You see
Were
what I'm
they
saying?
were they surprised of how the response of Fruits of Nature, like your rookie, your debut album, like were they surprised about that of the
Everybody was.
response? Okay,
Everybody was. Everybody was, but not really.
got you.
Because we were being original. We were going to do what we were going to do regardless. and they said, we're going to go with it. This is it. This is what y'all giving. Okay, we're going to support this. And it was such a different thing. So we knew it was going to do something. We didn't know what it was going to do, but it took off. It just took off. It took off.
Sure did. Now,
it took off.
I always wanted to ask, because, before I got into radio, I always said, if I asked, if I had a chance to talk to this artist or talk to that artist, this is what I'll ask them. And I always wanted to ask the UMC'S this, and I'm glad that I got HAAS G up here. So
the group,
have they always mistaken you guys to be a part of Native Tongue?
Ultra. Who? Native Tongue?
Native Tongue.
Okay.
Native Tongue.
Gotcha.
I always thought that you guys were like the cousins, the real close cousins of Native Tongue. So like, was that ever like? Was that ever a possibility that you guys were going to be a part of that collective group?
It was I guess a silent connection between us all.
Got you.
So remember, you brought up Latifah many a times, right? We just met over at Moni's album listening party, right?
Yes.
So we was always in that circle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Always in that circle. Our inspiration, my inspiration, I can't speak for Kool Kim, but my inspiration was always De La Soul. Like when De La Soul came out, that was it for me. Like, oh, they speaking, and I would relate to it as speaking in tongues. You know what I mean? Like, yo, they spitting, but the way they do it is so different. So that's where we crafted our work. I don't want to say based on them, but I wanted to say being able to relate to the people in a different manner than what everybody else is relating to them, and that was it. So we coming from Staten Island, it was like, yo, let's teach them something. Let's talk. Let's twist our slang. Let's do it this way. You know what I'm saying? And we ran around with Native Tongue. Mm-hmm. We was Latifah's dancers, choreographers. You know what I'm saying? This is how we was with Moni. This is how we was running around with Jungle Brothers. This is how we was running around with De La. And you know what I mean? So we was in that mix, but between what De La started, Jungle Brothers, Q-Tip, Tribe Called Quest, we had our own thing from Staten Island. That's all it was. But yeah, we could relate to them, but nobody ever initiated us into Native Tongue.
I feel you. Okay.
But we were all peers. We were all cordial. We were all friends. We were all, together from one point to the other at times.
Got you. Now, with that $15,000, I want to go back to Fruits of Nature. The $15,000 budget, very limited. But you guys made it work. So you guys really made it work. So you being a producer, was that a little bit more easier because you didn't have to go outside the camp to have songs produced? And how many songs did you produce on the debut album?
All of it.
There you go.
All of it.
So it made it a little bit more. So was it a little bit more easier to we can save money this way?
It had nothing to do with saving money, because we weren't even in thought of going to other producers. Okay. Why? We produce us. We're coming out with our sound. We're doing our own thing. You know what I mean? It's just like Kanye. The reason why Kanye got really discovered was because Kanye knows how to rap over his own beats.
Yes.
That's UMC'S. You understand what I'm saying? We do this. We was doing this in the house already. I don't need to go to nobody else to make beats for us. Me and RNS knows how to make our beats. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We did the demos that got shot to get us a deal. See what I'm saying? So that had nothing to do with the budget or anything. We was going to make our own beats regardless. We didn't even know producers like that. We were new.
Right.
We weren't in the circle yet. So we was just, yo, you like this? Yeah, I like that. You like this? Yeah, I like that. Let's do it. And we did it internally. You know what I mean?
And it's so funny that you mentioned Kanye, because shout out to Kool Kim, because on his Instagram page, he actually has a clip of Kanye talking about he had a chance one summer. His dad said you can get one album, and he said that he had to pick between P Rock and CL
Smooth
and the UMC's. And he picked the UMC. So I'm glad that you did mention Kanye, because like a lot of people like really just don't know that you guys really influenced a whole generation of just your style and your and to be honest, 91, you know, it was still it was great hip hop.
91 was one of the best
Yes, it was.
years.
Absolutely. And this is my next question. Now we see hip hop changing. Shout out to Mikey D out there, because Mikey D, he was on somebody's podcast. I can't remember the podcast. Please forgive me. But he actually said, you know, coming from the era that he was in, going into the 90s, it was a hard transition for him. Not a hard, but like the transition was a little bit difficult because of his rhyme style, you know, his flow, and just like the nature of the lyrics. Like, did you guys have that issue? Because like 90, like you said, 91 was great. Like 91 was just like a plethora of hip hop that everybody loved. You can love this, you can love that. But then it started changing to the hardcore East Coast, really, you know, street music. So did the UMC's have a hard transition you know, going forward?
Well, going forward after the first album, yes, we did have a difficult I don't want to say it was a difficult transition. We was just faced with a whole lot of, you know, nonsense,
Gotcha.
you know, during the first album. So you gotta figure, you know, when you're not happy, you know, you become disgruntled, you know, especially when you believe that, yo, I did good, I did my best, and it ain't showing improving for anything. You know what I'm saying? It's not benefiting me. Oh, and they still living, they still doing good. The ones that we're contracted to, and then we ain't got nothing. You know, we become, you know, disgruntled, we become angry, become mad. You know what I'm saying? When I can't buy Christmas gifts for my people, you know what I'm saying? Because they didn't give us an advance, this, that, and the third. Now you got all this gangster rap coming, you know, right when we just set it off with some good, positive, ill, you know, music, and now the cycle is changing. What are you gonna do? All right, y'all need another album from me? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you that, but I'm gonna give you my innermost feelings right now. I'm not gonna give you that new kid who felt good about signing a record deal and coming out with their first album. Now I'm gonna give you all the, you know, the torture that I've been through. I'm gonna regurgitate it right back at you. I'm gonna let you know the truth about this game. I'm gonna let you know the truth about the president of the record label. I'm gonna tell you about how, you know, I had no money, you know, to buy this, that, and a third for people who was dependent on me. You see what I'm saying? So that was the transition. It had nothing to do with because everything else was transitioning. We wanted to transition or get into it. It only happened because at that point in time, we was already like, we got ran over.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And so hence the second album, as dope as it was, fly, still the production dope, still the lyrics is crazy, but the attitude wasn't the attitude that the people were used to.
Right, absolutely. And so when you guys turned in the album for it was Unleashed, right? When you guys turned it when you guys turned in that album and they heard the album, what was their response? What was the record label's response? And that was under Wild Pitch too, correct? What was their
Yeah.
response? Phantom of the Beat.
Why would they have a response? Oh,
Right.
you got an album? We just caught $6 million. So whatever album you turn it in, cool. We don't.
Mm.
You
Okay.
see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's when they lost. They didn't even care at that point in time. Not to mention, we already had an altercation with the president of the record label.
Okay.
So by the time we turned in that second album, like I said, we was already disgruntled. We just gave them that album just to get the hell out of there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They already expected nothing like that first album. They knew they wasn't going to get that quality because there was drama already. So they already knew what was getting ready to happen. These guys aren't into it. Of course we're not. You got $6 million, and we still sitting here collecting what? You know what I mean? They did up our budget though.
Okay.
That's a good one. They did up the budget. Still wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Still wasn't enough. And we had to fight hard to get that budget up. They still didn't want to up the budget. You believe that? We had to fight to get that. Meanwhile, Fruits of Nature already did mad numbers.
Yes.
Mad numbers already. So it's time to do the second album. You're not going to give us, make us feel comfortable, make us feel good. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't do that. So, it just turned into whatever, P. Whatever, man. You know what I mean? Oh, this is how you're gonna do it. So here, whatever.
So after the second album, I don't like to say breakup. So that's when the UMC's collectively as a group just stopped making music. Am I correct or am I wrong?
You're very correct.
Okay.
Kim is my best friend.
Okay.
We didn't break up. We just disbanded UMC's.
Gotcha.
At that point in time, due to the record label and all that, we had to fall back. That's all that was. We fell back at that moment in time. But UMC's is still UMC's. UMC's is still HAAS G and Kool Kim all day. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of the conception was, by the public. They thought that
because it was not to cut you off, my bro, because of the fact that it wasn't social media, it wasn't all this. We were just going on just face value, word of mouth of what we saw, the visuals, and if we didn't hear you guys anymore, like I was when I was in my young 20s, I was like, oh, they just broke up.
Yeah, nah, we never broke up. We're family, period. You know what I mean? It's just the industry itself. There was no more room for UMC's, so we had to just take different routes. But what glues UMC's together is Fruits of Nature.
Yes,
whole day. You know what I'm saying? And further on down the road, that's what allowed us to continue to do shows.
I'm sorry, I was just looking at your album.
You saw a flyer on the wall?
Yeah, no, I was just looking at the album cover on the wall, bro. I mean, I can't pan over, but yeah, I'm just looking at that's because I got an album cover. Well, I actually have the actual album, and it's in a frame, and I'm gonna send you a picture of this.
Please.
It's UMC's and 3 Times Dope, and I have both those in there. Yeah, so I mean, it's
one.
Yeah, it's classic. I know you're like, what the hell are you looking over there? But
yeah, I was like,
yeah,
what's she telling you? She telling you what? You're like,
nah, it's all good. So, was there a point, you had the Wild Pitch deal. Did you and Kool Kim try to shop and go to another label?
Oh, we
And
was blackballed already.
really?
I'll stop you right there. We was already
Okay.
blackballed because I told you after that second album, we were dealing with altercations at the label.
Okay.
So Wild Pitch got picked up by EMI by the time we were ready to do the second album. And we had a slight altercation with the president. That's why there was no promotion behind the second album.
It wasn't
That's why
because
there was no push. That's why they said throw that shit to the wall. If it stick, it stick. If it don't, who cares?
and I'm gonna be honest with you,
You noticed.
a lot of hip hop heads did not know that album came out. They really didn't. I mean, we heard it, but it was really no radio push,
There was no push behind that album.
no video. We didn't see, like, we barely saw anything, but we were just still going off of. But I know there were a couple
We
videos.
did one video off that second
Okay.
album, and that was called "Time to Set It Straight."
Okay.
One video off that second album. After that, everything went.
They gave you budget for one video. Mm.
That was it.
Now going forward, like, was that for you guys, you being a producer also, was that frustrating to a point? It's like, I don't even want to do music anymore.
Oh, beyond that, like, we were on the verge of. I remember this very, very vividly. Once we realized that, we can't even go get another deal anywhere else. We sat in the crib and we were at a loss, total loss, no money, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? We was struggling. The only good thing about that struggle was we were young. So we were capable, we could do whatever we needed to do still. You know what I mean? You just had to rise to the occasion. But, we were hurt badly. It came to, that's when the weed and the drinking started kicking in even heavier. You know what I mean? Now we looking like the average, dudes that ain't got nothing going in the street and just chilling. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I know y'all for being in the studio all the time and y'all being over here and y'all going to the city all the time. And nah, we was cooped up in the crib just wilding, chilling.
When did it come to you, that light come to you to rebrand yourself and put yourself out there as a producer?
Well, I mean, I'm one of those kind of guys. Like, even when I graduated high school, I was a electrician.
Okay.
So I went straight to work for transit. You know what I'm saying? I had my whole thing was always a circular motion.
Gotcha.
One thing stops, another one starts, another one starts all the time. So by the time UMC'S had to take a chill, I was already on being an electrician with Local 3.
Okay.
Right? So now I'm doing my electrical, but, that's not soothing to the heart. Right. I know how to get through it. I know how to do it all. You know what I mean? I graduate. I do what's necessary. I excel. But in my heart, it's like, damn it, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. I want to do music. I want to do music. And what ended up happening was, I guess, the universe answered my prayers in a strange way. So I'm working and I get hurt. I get hurt in my eye, like a piece of copper poked me in the eye. That was crazy. So I had to get a little surgery on my eye and all of that. And I was like, now you're on benefits, you're on disability or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not even going back. I could go back, but I'm not going back to work.
Yeah.
But I was always making beats still while I was working. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna get up tomorrow morning. I got my beat tape. I'm off work. I'm on disability. I'm gonna go into the city and hang out, and hopefully be able to run into somebody and talk to them and get a beat tape off.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what happened. Just like that. No, literally just like that. I'm on disability. I'm home. I can't work. I said, yo, today is the day. I'm going to go to the city. I got beats on tape. Let me just take a walk. Went out, first beat. Busta Rhymes.
Mm. And what beat was that, sir?
Oh, that was the Extension Level Event album.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the record called Take It Off.
Yep.
And that song was Take It Off during what Spring Fest, Spring Bling, Florida.
Yeah.
And that record was playing all over the place. Like, I was like, whoa, that's my first record sold as a producer, for real, outside of my own crew. This is interesting.
And the list goes on and on. I mean, like you were like, and you're still on a hot streak right now. But I just want to name, some of the beats that you did that, especially one that a lot of people really don't even know that you did it. I ain't gonna front, bro. I ain't even know that you did this beat.
Nobody connects the name yet.
No. Oh, okay.
We're gonna connect the name now.
Right. All right. So all right, let me ask you a question before we go into your production. Some of the records that you produced. When did you come up when did you come up with the name Fantom of the Beat, and why did you pick that name?
It's real simple. I look at the obvious. I look how the obvious impacted the people, right? So did Phantom of the Opera impact the people?
Yes.
Right? And that's on that scene. That's over there. So if I apply the same thing in hip hop and call myself Phantom of the Opera, Phantom of the Beat, not Phantom of the Opera, but Phantom of the Beat from Phantom of the Opera, right? That was big and powerful over there, Phantom of the Opera. Well, guess what? If I say Phantom of the Beat, it's going to be just as big and powerful over here. You see what I'm saying?
Do you think because you had to change the name, because did you feel as though that if you said HAAS G,
Oh yeah,
that people were like, nah, we're
I said it earlier.
Because you're blackballed at that point.
I said it earlier. Yeah, I said we were already blackballed from the group. You know what I mean? It took the group a second to be able to even show our faces as the group. You know what I mean? When Ralph brought us back out, Ralph McDaniels for the 35th anniversary, and you know what I mean? And prior to him, there was things that started happening that allowed us to come back. The anniversary of hip hop and all of that, and blah blah blah. So now it's like, okay, all the old soldiers are gone. The gatekeepers, they're finished. We could resurge again. So my whole thing though was, at that time, I'm not gonna say I'm HAAS G producer. I wanted a new name. I wanted to be different. I wanted to be like, and this ain't nothing that was this is science. This is mathematics. Like, yo, why not? Let me reinvent. We hear this word all the time, reinvent. So let me come back like this now, because now I could really, really show you who Phantom of the Beat is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not HAAS G now. Now I'm Phantom of the Beat. Phantom and HAAS are two different people.
Yes.
Trust me when I tell you. You know what I mean? Phantom comes through with beats that are murderous, crazy, while HAAS, he's a chill dude. He likes to, get it popping, rhyme, relax, cool out, spit darts. Phantom is the one that says, yo, HAAS, chill. This is what we're going to do. See, there's dimensions to it. It's attitudes to it. You know what I'm saying? So coming as Phantom of the Beat, it allowed me to really, really you know, give that all that I really want to give to this music. See what I'm saying? Without hesitation.
The one thing I like about your production is, you can go in different lanes, but it's still is still hip hop. You see what I'm saying? Hold on for 1 minute. Hold on for
Gotcha.
1 minute.
No problem.
Hold on for 1 minute. Let me see. Hold on for 1 minute.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Phil?
Hey, what's going on, Dad? Hey, I'm at the liquor store. If you want anything, I was just picking up some beers.
No, that's cool.
Tequila.
Yeah, I already got some in here for you. So just come on through.
Okay.
Yeah, just come on through. All right. And you could just knock on the door. Phyllis will she'll let you in because I'm doing an interview right now. Okay then.
Oh, it's gonna be a good Sunday.
Yeah, man. No, it's a great Sunday already. I talked to Nature Boy. Now I'm talking to Fantom of the Beat. Now where were we going to?
Why did I change my name?
Yeah. Changing your name and everything. Yeah. So, was that a difficult process for you? Like just changing your name and all that, or you just went right in and said, "Yo, I'm just gonna change my name."
Nah, it wasn't difficult. It just felt like, if I'm gonna have a production side and I'm gonna go full fledged that way, let me get a production name. Let me become that guy. You know what I mean? And that's all it was. And even then, it still didn't resonate with the people. You understand what I'm saying?
No, it didn't. It didn't. Oh, like I was saying before, the one thing I like about your production is, you can go mainstream, you can go underground, but it still has that boom bap style to it. So, and to be honest, I was listening to Ghostface, and he was talking about Iron Man. He really wasn't in a good place with that whole album, but we all know it as a classic.
Yeah.
And he really takes pride off of Supreme Clientele. And basically, I'm not putting words in his mouth, but basically he's saying, "Yo, that's really, really my first album." And right off the bat, Apollo Kids. And that song was super crazy. That's a classic.
It's a classic.
Didn't know that you produced that, Brian brother. So like, tell me about that production, Apollo Kids, and submitting that beat to Ghostface.
So like I said, I was an electrician.
Yes.
So after being a UMC, I got to work as an electrician.
Yes.
But I'm local 3, so I'm working in the city.
Right.
Now I'm working in all the buildings,
Mm-hmm.
all the record label buildings. I'm doing work in all of these buildings.
You're like, yeah, I know that building. You see what I'm saying?
No, how about this? The secretaries know me.
Oh, how you know what? Well, before we get into the Ghostface story, how was that walking into
A
the
record
building?
label.
Yeah, how was that?
It was humbling.
Okay.
Very humbling. But at the end of the day, I'm an electrician.
Yes.
So I'm not coming in there doing some, I'm coming in here to put power on for you.
Yeah.
So that put me on a whole different level. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, still I felt the way because damn it, I'm seeing this one running, I'm seeing that one go in.
Yeah,
I remember I used to talk to that A&R. They're looking at me like, "What are you doing?" I'm the one here to wire up everything that's going on in this, in your parts. And they're like, "Wow, you're an electrician." Yeah, I'm an electrician, B. So I already had a prestigious career. You know what I mean? I'm good. Electricians make bread. They do what they do.
They make money. Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
So it would have been different if I was a delivery boy from the corner store bringing you
Right. Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? Nah, he's the electrician. Oh, we got to talk to him in order to make this thing work. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I was still in a good position.
Yes.
And that's how I ended up running back into Ghost. Don't forget, we're all Staten Island.
Yes.
But I haven't seen him since he went incarcerated.
Yes.
Remember? And, we lost contact. And then by the time he was coming home, I was already at the record label coming downstairs to go to the truck. And limo pulls up, get ready to go into the record label. That's them. And it's like, yo, HAAS, yo, go. Oh, he just came home. Gave him a tape right then and there because I had tapes on me. I was rocking with tapes while I was working in the buildings because I never knew who I was going to run into.
Smart. Very smart.
That's how I did it. Gave him a tape. They're slow though. So it took like 3 months for him to reply. And it wasn't even a reply. The whole thing was, yo, Ghost laid his vocals, come to the studio to mix it. What? We ain't do nothing. Yo, you got the record. Then I went in and that was it.
And then it led to you doing production for Raekwon and
that led to, well, I gave Ghost his #1 single from Coming Home to come home to.
Yes, you
right?
did.
For Supreme Clientele. That was his first record when he came home.
Yes, you did.
I'm good. I'm Gucci. Signed, sealed, delivered, etched in stone. That can never be taken away.
So when was your last day as an electrician? You see what I'm saying? When was your last day?
No, I'm still an electrician.
Really?
Yes.
Probably. Y'all vote because you know why? Because don't put your eggs all in one basket. I'm sounding like an old dude right now. Don't put your eggs in all in one basket and always learn more than one trade. Bravo. Hey, I'm a bust.
You got to think about it. If you have a passion, right, that takes money. You don't got investors. Where's the money coming from? I work. I don't work like I used to work because now I'm on a top tier.
Yes.
Now
you got that seniority. Yep.
Yes. I'm a consultant. I am this. You know what I mean? I'm on another level. I get jobs. You know what I'm saying? I put my young boys on. This is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. They're going to give me the check. Boom. I'm going to take care of everybody and keep it moving. You understand what I'm saying? I'm on another level right now. But electrical is my field. This is what I do. You know what I'm saying? I did electrical for a lot of the buildings in Manhattan that went up. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking from top to bottom. You know what I mean? And even now, I'm an electrician.
Hey, look, man. I am a bus driver for New Jersey Transit. So
you know better.
Yeah, I trust me. I know that seniority. Hey, look, why do you think I'm doing an interview with you on a Sunday? I don't have to work
because you got seniority.
Exactly.
You can do what you need to do and pay your bills.
Thank you.
This whole music game is so freaking twisted and crazy. You don't know where that money's coming from in this music game.
Nope.
So it's your passion. That's what keeps you there. And you want to make that bill, but no matter what, you just know, okay, I'm gonna learn how to balance to do this and still do some of that. And that's it.
And now we're moving.
I'm sorry. I'm good because with records that are already produced prior, they still manifest income. It still brings in income. See what I'm saying? So I don't have to work as hard. I just got to be diligent. I got to be smart about what the next moves are going to be. See what I'm saying? So publishing,
right?
For everybody listening, publishing is the gift that keeps giving. Mm-hmm. It'll keep giving. I had a record in a movie one time. That was a big check. The same record was in another movie. Again, another check. That same record was in another movie, another check. Another record I did for somebody else was in a movie, another check. This is why you hold on to your publishing. This is why you partake in licensing. This is what we're doing is building our wealth, our assets. Where you know what I mean. These are things that they move with you. You know what I'm saying? They're money makers. It'll over the top continuously make money down the road. You understand what I'm saying? UMC's just had a record in the new Dexter.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? That was a UMC's record. Check. And we did that what? How long ago?
I guarantee those checks look so much different. You see what I'm saying? Those soundtrack checks, they look so much different. But moving forward, because you're going to be linked to 50 Cent, you know, and so like, how did that come about? You giving him that beat, Magic Stick, featuring Little Kim. So how did that all come about?
Well, when 50 was with Trackmasters,
Yes,
when he started doing his demos and all of that, his mixtapes and all that, we had a record called Rotten Apple.
okay.
We was on the mixtapes already. So my cousin was 50's DJ.
Okay.
All right. So you already know where this is going. You know where this is going. My cousin was 50's DJ. You know what I mean? And my cousin's a producer as well. That we could take that back to Inspector Deck's album, where me, Ayatollah, and my cousin produced on Inspector Deck's album.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But my cousin was 50's DJ. We already produced Rotten Apple on his mixtape. And then later on, when he figured out he was gonna, move around and end up with Dre and them, it was asking for new beats, and I just pitched it. I just gave it. Now that one was I want to say a 3-day turnaround.
Okay.
That beat was a 3-day turnaround. Yo, he signed to Dre. He's trying to do the records now. Okay. I got something. Boom, boom, boom. 3 days. Yo, come out to Long Island. Let's record. That was it.
To this day, what is the one production that you have that, because all your production is great, but it's that one beat that
Thank you. I appreciate you.
that is always like, that was the one. Like, that is all that always still gets to you to this day. It's like, yo, is that one? You see what I'm saying?
There's only one that really gets to me, that covers all angles and covers Fantom's attitude. Is Apollo Kids. That tops. That's like, this is the empirical. This is the everything under that is supposed to be, birthed from. So we could do Apollo Kids. Bang, bang, bang. You know what I mean? And everything else under that's it's still me, but it's just that one is the pinnacle. Thus far.
Was it easier working with other Wu-Tang members? Like, once you had that song with Ghostface, was it easier to pitch more production to other members?
Well, remember, I am Staten Island too. So I knew all of them. All of us know each other. It became easier to pitch to them because guess what? Their flagship artists went to Fantom for that hit record, got it. Now everybody, and Raekwon's on it too. Oh, now everybody wants to, you know how that go. Come on, son. Come on. Like, of course, it made it so much easier. and we live up the block from each other.
Right.
We see each other all the time. But when Apollo Kids came out, that was it.
And to be honest, we all love the record. We all love Ghost's lyrics on Apollo Kids. We love Ghost and Ray's lyrics. But I remember, when that song came out, when Supreme Clientele came out, and they played it on the radio. What did they play mostly? The instrumental, which is super crazy. Now, how was that feeling, man? Like when you would just hear, and where were you when you first heard, going back to the Busta Rhymes joint, where were you when you first heard it on the radio? Because that song was played on the radio also.
Mm-hmm. The Busta joint, where was I when I first heard it? I don't even remember, truthfully. I'm not gonna lie. I heard it in the studio when we finished mixing it, and then I didn't hear it on the radio first.
Okay.
I heard it on TV first.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Spring break.
Got you. Okay. I
didn't hear it on the radio.
I see what you're saying.
I heard it at spring break. Yeah.
Got you.
When they was performing and all that, and the crowd go wild, all that Florida. That's where I heard it at first from the public's perspective. You know what I mean? I don't think I ever heard it on the radio. Not Take It Off. I heard Take It Off on TV. Like, what? You know what I mean? Ghost's Apollo Kids, I heard on the radio.
How was that feeling?
B, I was in the hood. I was in Williamsburg. I was in the hood. And, back then, more or less, a lot of people were playing the radio. They were playing Hot 97.
Yes.
In the car.
All day. Absolutely.
So the car just pulled across my block and I hear the record. I'm like, after that, I just kept hearing the record all over the place.
All over the place.
I was like, yo, this is crazy. Then we got the invite to the video and they shoot a video for it. And I was like, yo, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, just going forward, man, you're having so much success with production, man. I mean, now before I even talk about, going forward, I want to talk about the 2 songs that you released on Wild Pitch Records. I'm going to go back to that.
Sure.
Do you guys own the masters and publishing for those 2 albums?
It's reverting right now. Time is up. We get back ownership.
Time is up, man. Time is up. So, like, what is the plan? What is the plan? Are you gonna reissue both albums? Are you gonna do remixes? What's the plan for the 2 albums that you guys are gonna own?
I have no clue right now.
Got you.
You know why? Because I've been so caught up with the process that I'm dealing with right now. So I can't jump back to that just yet. It's going to be a plan, though.
It's going to be a plan. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's just we haven't even wrapped our minds around it yet.
Got you.
So, and then, you got to remember, this is it's a milestone.
Yes.
Ooh, you got to think about what we're going to do.
You just can't throw it out there. Just can't get, it has to be done right and strategically. I get that. So,
like I said, we just did Dexter.
Yes.
We just took one of the songs from our album for Dexter. So, if these shows are time sensitive, we got the music for the time sensitive shows.
Are there any unreleased UMC tracks floating around out there?
Yeah.
Are we going to hear them?
Definitely. Kim is working on something right now that, we kind of figured out that, all right, let's play this energy. Let me
Gotcha.
just produce it and you rap,
Mm.
right? It's still UMC's, but let's play that one. Let's play that for a little bit and see how that goes over. You know what I'm saying? Because Kim always wanted to be the dartologist, the specialist. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
like to spit, but like I said, production was my forte. But Kim is still an ill lyricist. So let's see how it works where I just produce it and then you spit and you dart. Let's see
Absolutely.
how
Shout,
that
shout out shout out to Cool Kim out there because he has a new single called Third Eye, which I
yeah,
play on
yeah, yeah.
on both my radio shows. So, and I want to get him on for an interview also because he's always active on Instagram and he's always spitting out facts, about just certain things. And especially now I'm starting to see more things about the UMC facts. But moving forward, production is at an all time high. Shout out to Rhyme Wrecker out there. I mean, it's like you've had great production throughout a couple years now,
Mhm,
and for over, or it's been way over a decade.
mhm.
So just moving forward, you form your own music group. So tell me about Fantom Music real quick, and tell me the mission statement behind that.
So Phantom Music is the first distribution, first label that I put together.
Okay.
And that's with HAAS Orchard, Sony Orchard, Rob
Shout out to Rob
Schwartz,
Schwartz. Yep.
Rob Schwartz all day. Rob was Rob is a good friend, a good mentor, a great person who is not from New York that
Yes.
recognized the New York talent. Love like Rob is he's so embedded into this music game, it's
He
ridiculous.
sure is.
Um, and Rob said, "Hey, let's do something. I love the UMC's. I love you. I love what you do." So I got with Rob, and we said, "All right, let me do Phantom Music, and then I'll throw some I'll throw some music your way through the label and all that." I got some artists that I really, really like. I really, really want to mess with. And then I started doing records,
Mhm.
started dropping records. You know, to me, each piece is a seed song. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Everything you do is a seed planted, a seed sown, planted, whatever. And I'm not the one that looks for the ultimate instant payoff, instant gratification. I'm just the one that I know it takes foundation. You know what I mean? It takes watering, seeding, feeding, just making sure that the terrain is right, for the growth of everything. So that's what I was doing for the last 10 years. Making sure I plant, making sure I know the lay of the land, making sure I watch the up and the down of the industry, making sure I know when I'm going to strike. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Now it's coming time. And everything that I did thus far is going to show range. It's going to show that, boom, we was building that all the way up to this now. Now, when I
Absolutely.
shoot that dart, when I throw that out there, everything that we've done is going to fit right in place.
And it's fitting right in place right now. You have a great team, man. Shout out to Gina out there in Kansas City.
Mhm,
Shout out to MJ out there in South Jersey. Shout out to
mhm,
Rob Schwartz out there in South Jersey. And the crazy thing about it is MJ is really from the area that I'm from right now. That we're all from the same area. Me,
nice.
Rob, and MJ. And MJ was giving me music all she was giving me music for years of your production, but I ain't know it was you, bro. I just this producer's dope, man. It's yeah, but you know who that is? I'm like, nah, who is that? And then they tell me, I'm like, well, damn. I mean, it's like, and then I finally get to meet you,
Mhm.
and we post a picture, and shout out to Gina out there. She was like, yo, I really appreciate you talking to Fantom, and yo,
Yeah, hey,
yeah, I
that
mean,
was generic. We had no clue. We just,
no,
but
that's the crazy.
serendipity.
Absolute. And then on top of that, it's like Rob's like, yeah, well, Fantom of the Beat. It still didn't click when he was telling me this years ago. And now I'm like, what, that dude? I was like, bro, come on, man.
The universe
Yes.
it works
Yes,
itself
it
the
does.
right way, my G.
Yes, it
Trust me
does.
when I tell you.
So to wrap up, man, how can people, get in contact with you? How can people link with you? How could people, support past, present, and future projects? All by Fantom of the Beat.
So basically, everybody out there, if you didn't know, I am HAAS G from the UMC'S. I'm AKA Fantom of the Beat. You can find me at Fantom of the Beat with an Fantom of the Beat on Instagram. You can find me at same thing on gosh, there's so many
Like
on
Instagram, Facebook.
Facebook, YouTube, same thing,
Yes.
Phantom of the Beat. And then if you don't catch me there, you could also Google HAAS G. You could Google UMC's. It'll all pop up. Now, other than that, we got a new label, which is called ELP,
Okay.
Empirical Legacy Project.
Okay.
So you can find that on Instagram at ELP. And check your favorite rappers. I might be one of their producers at the time.
Sure. Now, who is that artist that you're working with right now? It's like, yo, he really has something going on right now.
So basically, right now we just dropped the record on our label venture. Me and Tarantino, Gina. It's Gina Tarantino, Fantom of the Beat. We got a new label called ELP. So our first premier artist is
Scritchmatic. Yep.
Scritchmatic and Solo Papa. The record is called Goblins.
I've been playing it.
I appreciate you. So that's our premiere record, which is going to take us from now all the way into the early year. You know what I mean?
And I was playing it, not to cut you off, and I was playing it before I even bumped into you, because MJ was pushing this record, and I was and I heard that, I was like, and I hit MJ back. I was like, I'm playing this on both stations. So, and this is even before we met in New York City. This is before I linked up with Gina. So like, I just like the record, period. I was playing you when you were producer for Rhyme Record, and that's what I'm saying. So like,
and still
exactly.
And
so
that's
what I'm saying.
His album's out right now.
Yes, it is.
And I got a good two pieces. He has Grind Mode.
Yes.
And Give It Up.
Yep.
That
and
I
I've
did.
been playing it.
Oh man, I so appreciate you.
Yeah. So
this is what I'm talking about. When I say, we could always want it to happen before it's time, but it don't happen before it's time.
Absolutely.
Universe says, all right, this is happening, that's happening, that's happening. When it's time, that's when it's going to happen.
Absolutely.
And look at that. I ain't even know, but I know now. And we got a whole lot more in store. So, we're going to keep the masses fed, and us doing our job and our due diligences. I'm going to help you. You're going to help me, and we're going to keep it moving.
What is the advice that you would give a producer or a rapper or MC coming up right now? I asked Nature Boy this in the last episode, but what is your advice that you would give to any rapper? Not even just any. It doesn't have to be a new. It doesn't have to be an up and coming. It could be somebody that's a legend that's trying to get back into the game, trying to fit into the lane. So like, what is your advice to them? Because I mean, you have a knowledge of wealth, my brother.
I appreciate you. My whole thing is my what I go off of is this. I really, really pay attention to the lay of the land. I pay attention to what's going on. I don't participate in everything that's going on. Sometimes I sit back and I just watch and I observe. And I think that's the best that if you're an artist or a real artist, that's what you would want to do. Because if you're trying to get your message across, you got to make sure you're not clashing. You got to make sure that the time is right, and you got to know when to strike. So pay attention to the lay of the land, which is whatever endeavor that you're dealing with. See what's going on. Make sure that you perfect your craft to the fullest. So, not just because, oh, this is what I do, and so what? Nah, B, you got to have some backing behind that. Why do you do it? What made you do that? You know what I mean? All of that is relevant. You see what I'm saying? Like, why do I make beats? Well, because when I heard Molly Mole do, Biz and the Vapors, and my mom was playing a 45 in the crib, and I realized that's where they got the sample from. And I was like, that's what they do? And they get money from that? Whoa, I want to do that.
Okay.
So
makes sense.
Perfect your craft, know the lay of the land, and then execute.
I want to thank you for coming on because, I learned so much. And like I said before, that's why I like, I like to do these podcasts, because if you do a radio interview, you really don't get to know how they got there. You might know, but it's only a very short, limited time.
You don't have time.
You don't have time to do it. But with these podcasts, you can go into in depth with the stories.
This is a story, B. Yes.
Bro, I did not know, number one, you guys were dancers. And number one, that, Gangstar actually helped you get your deal. I did not, we don't even know that. But
they put it on.
And it's like, going forward, how, you guys are a cultural figure, because like you said, every week we saw that pitch. And real quick, I know we got to wrap up, but how was that when you saw that in Martin? And did the cast from Martin, did they say, yo, we got to put this picture up, we appreciate you guys? And so, like, how did that all come about?
Who did I say was our management at one point?
Flavor Unit.
Shakim, Latifah, Martin.
Yeah.
See?
Damn.
That's how it happened. Oh, I like that group. Yo, call Shy. Yo, they call us at the office. Yo, we got this new show getting ready to happen. And who's Latifah? Hasn't she been doing shows for the past 20 years already?
Right.
So this is how it all. See, wow. People don't understand the behind the scenes of all of this. So they reached out to Flavor Unit, Martin, Shakim, Latifah. They all know each other. New show get ready to happen. Martin says, I need something. I want Spike Lee, and I like that new group. Why? Guess what? We was wearing cross colors.
Yep.
Right? Was it that the premiere package dressing of the Martin cast?
Yep.
A lot of cross colors. And
yep.
Then you saw UMC'S with the new album and the way they look, representing that whole feeling.
Looking at it right now.
So that's how it all meshed. That's how it all came out.
Oh, that's solid, brother. Hey, look, man, I learned a lot today, and I'm glad that I finally got a chance to interview you. And like I said before, I was playing your music before I even know who was the producer. My thing was just like, yo, the producer's dope, and and the artist is dope also, and it's a great fit. Yo, I'm just playing anytime, and it was so crazy because when MJ would send me music, and if it said by production by Fantom of The Beat, I was automatically playing it. It's like because you like you know
It's
with
an
the,
expectation. You
right,
already like, okay,
because you
what's next?
know I've starting to realize within 15 seconds, just by doing radio, by 15 seconds, 15 to 20 seconds, you know you're gonna like the song or not. And when I didn't know you, I was doing that 15 seconds. I was like, yeah, this is dope. Now, when I get an email saying it's your production, I don't even have the 15-minute second is waived, my brother. It is waived
The rap.
because I already know it's like, okay, is it the clean version? Cool, I'm playing it.
I try my best for each piece that I do to be original.
Yes.
And to have its own impact.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like you said earlier, like my records are the records that I'm just gonna throw this out there, the records I do, they're always gonna have a real hip hop feeling.
Yes, it is.
The thing with me is I'm a people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say that meaning, oh, you want a radio record? Yeah, I'll give you a radio record, but it's going to be grimy.
Yep.
It's still going to be grimy, but it's going to be able to hit the radio. Hence, Magic Stick.
Yes.
A grimy, dirty ass sample, part of my expression.
No. Go ahead. No.
But it's commercial. It's a commercial.
Yes, it is.
Now, it's only that depending on who gets on it and who rhymes on it and who says what they say. But it's a beat. It's music. It could go in any direction. You understand what I'm saying? So we don't sit here and build records for the radio. We just build good records. And if it crosses, it crosses. That's it.
And you know what? And I appreciate you taking time to talk to me at the album release party of Only Love, because you didn't know me from a can of paint. And
I think we were on I think we got it recorded.
Oh, really?
Yeah, somebody caught us having a conversation.
Oh, okay. Well, but you were just telling me, I could just hear it in your voice, the passion that you had in music, and you were telling me that in that brief moment that was the mission statement, your mission statement, because you said music runs the universe. I never forget this. You were just like, music is everything, and that's what you're trying to bring to the masses, and that's what you're doing. I really want to appreciate, I really appreciate you coming on, man, because you're a busy man. You hold a lot of hats. And real quick, very last question: how did you get your tag? And because every producer, you could tell by their tag in the beginning of the song. How did you come up with that?
My tag came from the Fantom. My tag came from a cartoon. So all I did was I chopped up. They said that word, and then I just took the word, I downplayed it, upplayed it, and then I played on top of it. It's from a cartoon. I don't want to tell everybody the cartoon.
No. We're not telling all the secrets. You told some
you hear it though, right? The Fantom. Yeah.
You told some great stories. That one, we're just gonna leave it at that. And I want to thank you for coming on. And anything that you have, anything that you have, I'm gonna talk to Gina right after this. Shout out to MJ again. You know what the great thing about it is?
Tell me.
I can go to Gina. I can go to Rob. I can go to
inside, homie,
and I can get all the music that I want from Fantom. I can get anything. If I can't get in contact with this person, I can go to this person. If I can't get in contact with that person, I'm gonna go to the. But you know what? The beauty
all of them are all connected,
right?
You're inside. You're in the loop, or you just. I'm in the loop.
Hey, look, man, I really want to thank you for coming on. Like I said before, anything that you have in the making, anything that you want to promote, please come back on. and we're gonna promote it to the fullest, man. Okay.
We're trying to build a new world. Like I said, pay attention to the lay of the land. It's crumbling.
Yes.
Around us is crumbling. We got a Phoenix. We got to do the new resurgence of the new. We're not really new. We're just vets. And then we're bringing the new to the forefront. You see what I'm saying? So anything you need from us, you got it. We, like I said, you know the circle. You know where we at.
Hey, look, he said the last word. I can't even say anything after that, man. I want to thank you for coming on. Like I said, Side B TV, Fantom of the Beat. Hey, look, man, we're gonna support you to the fullest, and we really appreciate you coming on. And you know, we're gonna link up once again. Trust me, I know that for a fact.
Always Side B TV, HAAS G, aka Fantom of the Beat, Heat for the Street, Phil Action Jackson.
I was gonna ask you for a drop. You just gave it to me, so thank you for that. Thank you, because you just gave me a drop. I'm like, damn. I was gonna ask him. I was gonna say, hey, look, we're signing out. I'll talk to you next week. And you just gave me a drop. So hey, look. With that being said, thank you, my brother. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we're gonna keep in contact. Okay.
Anytime you're in New York on this side, you let me know. If anything's going on, keep me posted. I got you.
Say less, brother. I really appreciate you coming on, man.
Talk good things about me when you talk to Gina and MJ.
Oh, come on, man. Yeah, I'm about to jump on the horn with her right now.
I appreciate you.
I'm about to give her a call right now. I'm about to text Rob and say, yo, bro, you did it again, man. I appreciate you giving me the link to this, man. Like, they're the plugs, man. And I'm just out here just trying to give it to the masses, man. So
no, you're good. You're good. You're going to be all right because we're going to feed you the right shit.
Absolutely.
All right, my G.
All right. Hey, look, man, you have a good day and we'll talk soon. Okay.
All right. Peace.
Peace. Hey, with that being said, I ain't got nothing else to say, man. Side B TV signing out. I'll talk to you guys next week. It's been a great day. It's been a very great day. Shout out to Nature Boy and shout out to Fantom of the Beat. And we got some more interviews in store. So keep it locked right here. Peace.